Yes, good day, class. I welcome you to our paper 2 Life Science September 2024 revision segment. Let's just mark ourselves now and we fix the problems now. I'm giving you this worked out memo so that we can be able to quickly work on whatever that has gone wrong now. We still have time to do the right thing. This is Metric Hub. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification button. Without wasting any time, this is our paper, Life Science Paper 2, September 2024, which the paper was written yesterday. So let's mark it fresh and we really do the best. Without wasting any time, let us just go to the, let's just go to our, we can just quickly go to our questions. Without wasting any time, we can just go to our questions. I'm sure that these instructions, I once read them for you and we still have the same thing. I'm quite emphasizing this point of starting start the answer to each question on a new page. Question 1, question 2. Where question 2 is starting, you start strictly on a new page. You don't start on the same page as a continuation of the same page that you are writing on question 1. Please take note of that. Each question must start at the top class, at the top of a new page, and then the number the answers correctly according to the numbering system that is used in this paper. This is a very serious instruction. Again, present your answers according to the instructions per question is according to instructions to each question. Class instructions for each question, they do vary. You must know that you are to answer the questions according to the instruction per question, and then don't forget to answer all questions again. Don't forget to answer all questions. This are life science. We don't choose. We write the full paper. Also, don't make a mistake of using a wrong pen. We use black or blue ink strictly in our paper there. We don't use any other colors. Please take note of this. We don't want to have disappointments unnecessarily. We go to our first question section A. It is various options are provided as possible answers to the following questions. You choose the answer and write only the letter next to the question number, which is given 1 to 9 in the answer book. Like, for example, this example that is given here, that's how we write it. So I can as well give you as an example question 1.1.1.1. So we write only the question number and then the answer. When a cell divides by meiosis, it results in dash. When a cell divides division by meiosis, when a cell divides by meiosis, it results in dash. This question, I'm saying, please note that these questions, meiosis, we cannot go to paper 2 exam without understanding meiosis. So 1, for genetically different haploid gametes, 2 genetically different gametes, we don't have 2. 4 genetically different haploid gametes, 4 genetically different haploid somatic cells, we don't have somatic cells, but we do have gametes. 2 genetically different, we don't have 2 genetically different gametes. So our answer in this regard is A. Our 1.1.1, it is A. It is A. Meiosis is responsible for formation of what? Of somatic cells. So our answer is written here. Just take note. I'm saying 1.1.1. The answer is A, which is for genetically different haploid gametes. They are genetically different haploid gametes and not somatic cells. Please, class, not somatic cells. Take note of that. Question 1.2. Dog breeders selected desirable traits to develop a particular characteristic in domestic dogs, such as the flat face of a bulldog. Bulldogs suffer from breathing problems because of their set of nodes and shortened A passages. That is what you are seeing here on this dog that we have in this diagram. And then these issues in bulldogs are due to dash. What is the cause of this type of dogs? Bulldogs suffer from breathing problems, and then dogs breeders class selected desirable to develop particular characteristics in domestic dogs, such as flat face. So we are saying flat face of a bulldog. So a bulldog is it's a type of a dog that is developed by men. So we are saying these issues of bulldogs are due to what? It is due to artificial selection. It is due to artificial selection, which is artificial selection is the reason why these dogs are like that. It is due to artificial selection. Please, class, take note of that. The answer is what? Is C. The answer is C. It is due to artificial selection because, as you have seen from what I've marked up there, that these are desirable traits which are done by dog breeders. So please note that this is what artificial selection, where men are selecting specific features or specific characteristics. Evidence supporting the evolution theory is obtained by studying the structure of vertebrates' limbs, forelimbs. This type of evidence for evolution is best described as what? Where we talk about the vertebrate forelimbs. Genetic is not genetic. Genetics, it has to do with the genes. This is not genetic evidence. I'm saying this is not genetic evidence. This is not DNA. Biogeography is the distribution. So we are saying our answer is what? Descent with modification. Other books, they say modification by descent and structural similarities. Modification by descent and structural similarities. So the answer is what? The answer is G, number 1.3. Question 1.3 is the answer is D. And then next question 1.4. Which hominid species had the smallest brain capacity? I've been just telling even my class recently, so that please take note of these cubic centimeters of brains in regard to hominid species. So what we are saying is that the size of the brain, it was the oldest, or when you are given this, you need to know the oldest of them or the ancient one. The ancient one of them or is the one that has got a problem with what? With the one that has got the smallest brain. Question 1.1.4. So in this case, consider that this is we have got Homo habilis, Australopithecus sediba, and Homo sapiens. So I'm saying you group them in regard to the one that come first. So we have got Ardipithecus ramidus, which is it is what? It is the oldest of them all, which we are saying it has the what? The smallest brain. It has the smallest brain, which is C. The smallest brain was what? Was found in what? In the Ardipithecus. So you remember to say the Homo sapiens. Obviously, you remember that the ancient is the man of today, the modern man. This is so interesting. Question 1.5. If DNA molecule consisting of 250 nitrogen bases and then 25 DNA, adenine bases. These are adenine bases, 25 of them. What is the ratio of adenine to guanine in the same molecule? This is quite interesting. Check here. The total number of bases, total number of bases is equals to 250. And then we have, in this case, adenine is equals to 25. Adenine is got 25, and then adenine is equals to 25. So in this case, what we need to understand is that adenine is equals to what? Is equals to thymine. Adenine is equals to thymine. So we are therefore going to say that this is equals to times 2. Adenine thymine is equals to what? Is equals to 50. And then we have got what? what is the ratio of adenine to guanine in the molecule? So guanine is equals to what? Is equal to cytosine. So from 200, from 250, which is equals to 250, is equals to 250 minus 50 divided by 2, which we are going to get that this is equals to 200 divided by 2, which is equals to 100. 100 is what? Is guanine. So guanine is 100, and then adenine is what? So we have got A. What is the ratio of adenine to what? To guanine. A is to G. So A is equals to what? A is equals to 25. And then what is this? Guanine is equals to 100. So these ratios are just simplified to their lowest terms by dividing by 25. So we have got 1 is to what? 1 is to 4. 1 is to 4, which is 1 is to 4. That is our answer there to say number 1.1.5. Our answer is what? Is D. Take note of this calculation. Total number of bases 250 minus 50, because it is adenine and thymine is the same number of bases. And then we divide by 2, 200 divided by 2, we get 100. So G is equals to 100. And then AE is equals to 25. So we simplify the ratios. That's what we need to understand. The following diagram shows 6 chromosomes labeled A to F from a diploid cell. Is 6 chromosomes labeled A to F from a diploid cell. That is what is shown there. Which of the following combination represents the 3 pairs of homologous chromosomes? Which of the following represents the 3 pairs of homologous chromosomes? Which of them represents the 3 pairs of homologous chromosomes? Number 6, we have got CD, we have got AF, we have got B and F, B and E, A and C, B and D and E. In this case, which ones are showing homologous chromosomes? So you need to understand to say, if we pair them, which one represents homologous chromosomes? I can say A and C, A and C, A and C. We can match them that they can be of the same A and C, A and C. And then we can as well say that we have got D and E. D and E also can be, D and E can also be correct. As you can see, we are saying D and E, they are also the same. This question, what it wants is just for you to know that B and F, we can also say that these are also the same. So you can see, class, that this is what is happening. You are supposed to match them to say that A and C, we can number them as to say this is 1, all of them is 1. We can put them as like 1, and then we can as well say D, which is 2. D and E, they are also the same. We can also put them as 2, and then we have got B, which is also the same as what? As F. So take note of this to say these questions, they are just not necessarily difficult, but you just need to think fast and see what is happening. So our correct answer should be D and E, and then B and F, which is the way that we calculated, which can give us to say that the answer is what? The answer is B. The answer is B, which we are marking according to the way we calculated it in the question above there. You can actually see this A and C, D and A, B and F, they can match to be homologous chromosomes in this case. Wow, that's so nice and interesting. A nice question. Next question. Our next question, it wants us to, next question, let's quickly answer our next question. 1.7, scientists gathered information about the affected and unaffected individuals for a certain genetic disorder. For a certain genetic disorder, a dominant allele causes the genetic disorder. A dominant, take note of this, a dominant allele, which we are going to say that it is represented by our dominant allele. So therefore, the findings of the scientists are represented in the pedigree diagram below. Letter R is used to represent the dominant, which is according to way I have shown you there, and then R recessive represent the recessive allele. That is what is there, and then we have got our key there. The shaded one represents affected, and then the shaded one square is affected male, and then the unshaded and affected male again, unaffected male, and then the shaded circle is affected female, and then unaffected female. That's what it is there. So our question is saying the genotype of individual C. The genotype of individual C, C, we have got this. The genotype of individual C. Individual C, we are saying it's affected. It's affected. The individual C. Individual C, we have got an affected father. Affected. It's affected. This is affected father. Is affected father marrying a mother who is in this case, you need to think and check it right, because we have got children whereby we have got unaffected son, we have got affected female, we have got affected girl, we have got unaffected unaffected son again, unaffected son, and then all the girls are affected girl, affected girl, and then this one we are saying is unaffected boy, the same as this one, unaffected boy. So the question wants us to see that having this scenario, what can be the genotype of C, which is affected male. What can be the genotype of C is affected female. It's affected female. So having this, what can be the genotype of C? This can be also mathematically worked out. We can also work it out and prove it to say that what is the genotype of C. In regard to this, we are saying it's an affected father, and then if we say that the mother is what? If we say the mother is unaffected, if the mother is unaffected, therefore we cannot be able to have if the mother is unaffected, we cannot be able to have what we call an affected girl. So in this case, this mother, she must be a what? This mother, we can say she is a carrier. She's a carrier mother, that we can say. She's a carrier mother who is having this. So what we need to see is that these calculations can be calculated there. Which statement is correct for the phenotype of individual X? If we can work it out, let's just try to work it out quickly. We can work it very fast. We can work it out to say this is affected male, which is to say that we have got, I'm just going to work it quick and fast. Is going to be affected male, which is affected father is marrying a carrier mother. which is heterozygous R, and then we are going to have got our R, we're gonna have our XR here is the gamete, and then we have got Y is the gamete. We have got our XR is a gamete, and then we have got XR is a gamete. So when we calculate it, we want to see how is it gonna prove to us this. We can say this XR is crossed with this XR. We have got XRR, and then we have got this X is crossed with that X there. We have got our X, which is this one, our XR, and then our XR. And then we're gonna have this further X with this further Y, and this one where we are going to have XRY, and then we have got this father and this mother also. We are going to have our XR, small r there is small r, y, small ry. Let's check this one. In this case, we are going to see that this is affected girl. This is affected girl, and then this is a carrier girl. We can say this can be a carrier girl, and then this can be affected son. This can be affected son, and this can be unaffected son. This can be unaffected son there. This can be unaffected son, but from our answers there, we should have a son who is what? A son who is unaffected son, and two unaffected sons. Two sons who are unaffected and two girls affected. Hence, we can say that in this case, the answer that we get here, we have got affected son and unaffected son, whereas with the both sons they are unaffected. So we need to let's work it again. Another possible thing that can be there, which can be saying that this is an affected father is marrying an unaffected woman. Is marrying an unaffected woman. So we are saying when that happens, we are going to have what? We are going to say affected father is marrying affected father is marrying unaffected woman. So we have got our XR, and then we have got our Y, and then it's being crossed with our XR, which is single X, and then it can give us this and that. It can give us our XR, and then this and that. It can give us our X. It's gonna give us our XRY, which is as to say that this can be a carrier girl as to an affected son. Then it also gives us a wrong thing because we have got different options there. So what we are saying is that the genotype, this answer should be saying the genotype of C, which is C must be unaffected. C must be unaffected. Then we can say that the genotype of C must be, it must be a carrier woman, which we are saying this can be, genotype of C can be a carrier woman, which we can say that it is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be A. So as you can look in this regard, the calculation that we did above here, it can show us that for sure this mother, she is what? We can have that mother as to say that's how she is, and then she can give us those possible outcomes. She can give us those possible outcomes. And please note that we are saying the mother should be, I mean, this one should be this one, the second one, which is, this is the second person whom we are saying this one is going to be, it's supposed to be Rx, which is this one, which is shown on my calculation, this to say this is the person that we are referring to, X, I mean heterozygous R, meaning to say that that is a carrier child. And then in that respect, what are we saying? That would say that that would mean to say which statement is correct for the phenotypes of the individual X. The statement which is correct, obviously, we are saying it is what? 75% of being affected, 75% chance of being affected. We've got 75% of being affected. Number 75%, 75% of being affected. We cannot say 100, we don't have 100% affected. As you can see from this, we're saying that we can have what you call 75% of this affected. This one is affected, this one is affected, and this one is affected. So we have got one affected, I mean 1, 2, and then 3. These are affected children. 1, 2, 3. We have got 3 children who are affected with this regard, in this respect. So we say that 75% is affected because we have got 3 of them who are affected, and then we only have unaffected. We have got unaffected boy, who is unaffected boy, the last one, who is this one, whom we are saying is having an XY, which means that he is what? He is unaffected. So please take note of these calculations, class, and they are quite nice and interesting anyway. Don't make mistakes. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. It is ending to question 1.8. Okay, let's go to the next question. Our next question, okay, we have got if the mother is heterozygous for blood B and the father is what? Is blood O. Heterozygous for blood B and the mother is blood, and the mother is heterozygous for blood B and the father is O. The first generation's only possible blood types, F1 will be what? So we just go quickly, go again to my calculations in the previous videos. You can see and understand this. I just go to the genotype in order for me not to waste time. I'm just saying we are having a mother who is heterozygous B. So it means a mother who is heterozygous B is married to what? To a father who is O. So in this case, our meiosis and our gametes that will form, we are going to have a gamete of B, and we've got a gamete of O, which is going to be crossed with what? With a gamete of O. And then when we cross them, when we cross these, we can say this child, when we cross them, we can take this B, which is B, and then it is crossing to what? To that which is I, and then we have got this I, which is crossing to this I. So we have got one who is blood B and one who is blood O. So what is the question saying is that this is the what? The genotype again. This is our genotype. This is our genotype. So what we are saying is, let's look to the question. The question is saying the first generation, the only possible blood type is gonna be what? We can only have blood O and A. We can only have blood, we can't have A, B, we don't have A there, it can't be. We can't have B only because there is O here. We can't be this, it can't be B only, it can't be O only. So our answer, as you can see, we have got this B and that O. So our answer is what? Is B. Our answer is B because, like I showed you there, I have proven to you that we can have blood B and that one, which is quite correct in that respect. Let's go quickly to question 2.1.1. Give the terms, the biological terms, more than one allele that influence one characteristic. We are to, this is called what? Multiple alleles. Multiple alleles. And then the complete set of genes of an organism is called the genome. Is called the genomic class. The complete set of genes of an organism is called the genome. And then the division of cytoplasm during meiosis is called cytokinesis. I'm sure these terms, I also wish that you don't make mistakes. Cytokinesis. And then the gap between the teeth of apes, that is diastema. And then the permanent disappearance of a species on Earth, we call that extinction. It's called extinction. I'm sure that you know that still living, the species that are still living, the opposite of extinction is what? Extent. The chromosomes in a human karyotype that are not associated with sex determination, we call them autosomes. We call them autosomes class. They are called autosomes. They are called autosomes. The type of dominance is where both alleles of a gene are equally dominant and both alleles express themselves in the phenotype of the heterozygous condition, which we are saying this is called codominance because they are equally expressed. Codominance. It is called codominance. The family that Homo sapiens belong to, this one I've been saying again recently. So to one of my classes, I mentioned, in one of my lessons, I did mention to them that we have got the hominidae, which we say the family to which the man, the modern man, the Homo sapien belongs to. It belongs to the hominid. Is the various classes from the Australopithecus to the Homo sapien. We call that the hominids. It's called the hominidae. That's nice. And then let's quickly go to the next question. Let's quickly go to the next question. Our next question is saying, indicate whether each of the following statements in column A applies to A or what. I'm sure this we know that it can be A, it can be both, it can be none, or it can be A and B. So number first is saying a variation within population in which there is a range of intermediate phenotypes. There is a range of intermediate phenotypes within a population which there is a range of intermediate phenotypes. What is it called? I'm saying in terms of variation, we know that it is called what? It is called continuous variation, which sometimes you might be asked to draw you might see it on a graph. It is shown by a graph that stretches, and then the one for discontinuous, which can also be like what? It has got a short range of values, which is this discontinuous, and then this is for continuous. just take note of the graphs. I'm saying this is a continuous variation where we have got a what? We have got a set of, we have got a, there is a range of intermediate values which can range from here up to there. There is a range which is stretching from there to there. And then as you can see in this case, our graph is just peaking and dropping on the discontinuous variation. Down syndrome, uh, what is happening? I think Down syndrome, 2n plus 1, it is 2n plus n. What is the correct answer? Which is to say that it is what? It is 2n plus 1, which will refer that we have got a person who has got abnormal chromosomes. So therefore, the answer should be what? Should be A. Should be A, which results in what? In 47 chromosomes class. We have got 47 chromosomes, which is specific there to say it's what? It's an abnormal cell with extra one. And then the next question, a homozygous tall plant is crossed with a homozygous short plant. The offspring will be 100% tall. What is Mendel's law of dominance, Mendel's law of segregation? What is it? It's Mendel's law of dominance, which is A. So classy, you can see that these questions are quite many times sort of vexing, but you need to be quite observant. The diagram below represents the chromosomes of a human somatic cell. We are given these somatic cells, which is from 1, which is the karyotype from 1 to 23. Identify the type of diagram that is shown above. It is the karyotype already. I already mentioned it. When I see this, some of us, we already know to say what is it that is talking about. Is the karyotype. State the gender of the person represented in the diagram. The gender, we have got what? We have got our sex chromosomes 23, which we have got the long and we have got the short, the long X and the short Y chromosome. Therefore, it means it's what? It's a male. This is a male. This is a male karyotype. And then the next question is saying, give one reason for your answer. I think I have already mentioned that chromosome pair 21, give the reason for your answer. I'm saying I've already given that chromosome pair 21, chromosome pair, 23, chromosome pair 23, yes, an X and Y chromosome. Yes, an X and Y chromosomes. It's got an X and Y chromosomes. How do we say that one large and one short small chromosome, that are the chromosomes are not of the same size, are shown by what? Are shown by a long X and a short Y chromosome. So that represents that this is a what? This is a male. It's a male karyotype. It shows that the karyotype is for a man. That is why we are saying that. We are saying that because the karyotype is for what? Is for a male. That's what is happening there. And then name the phase of meiosis during which the above chromosomes were possibly photographed. Name the phase of meiosis during which the above chromosomes were possibly photographed. This can be prophase 1. This can be prophase 1. This can be prophase 1. As we can see, this can be prophase 1. And then if a person has a genetic condition that results in only 43 autosomes, is how many chromosomes would there be in the somatic cells? There will be also what? we are saying 43 autosomes, 43 autosomes, which are 43 autosomes, and how many chromosomes will be there in the somatic cell? The somatic cell would have what? 45. It would have 45 chromosomes. It would have 45 chromosomes. This question is quite interesting and is nice one as well. 1.5, a farmer crossed two, a maize farmer crossed two maize plants and investigated two traits in this crossing: yield ability, drought resistance, and then main crops, which are represented by various letters that are given there. One plant is homozygous for both traits, and the other is homozygous for recessive for both traits again. Wow. Give the genotypes of both parents in the P1 generation. P1 class represents parents 1. It represents parents 1. So we are given that one plant is homozygous dominant for both traits, and the other is homozygous recessive for both traits again. So we are saying give the what? Give the genotypes, the genotypes of both parents in F1. This can be easily be given as to say that we are saying is homozygous dominant versus homozygous recessive. So in this case, we can have our F1 as to say we can have the dominant allele, which is for free corpse, which is also having the dominant the dominant high yield also, and I mean dominant drought resistant is crossed with what is crossed with it can be crossed with our obviously our small fh. That can be correct. That can be very correct. This is very correct because we are saying these are the homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive. That is what the question wants you to give. That is question 1.1.5. The parents in the P2 generations are crossed, and the offsprings, the parents in the P2 generation, parents 2 generation are crossed, and the offsprings, the offspring genotypes are shown in the Punnett square, below, which is given there. We have got this as what is our F2. So the question is saying, give the dominant phenotype for drought resistant, the dominant phenotype for the dominant phenotype for drought resistant, the dominant phenotype for drought resistant. Obviously, the dominant phenotype for drought resistant is supposed to be what? Is supposed to be high, which is representing drought resistant. Dominant is represented by what? By H. So we are saying our dominant phenotype for drought resistant phenotype. The question is saying phenotype class. Phenotype is represented by what? By high, which is given in our question there. And then this is high. And then the recessive allele for yield, the recessive allele for yield ability, the recessive allele for yield ability is also given there. Yield ability recessive allele is given as to say this is the recessive for yield. This is the recessive for yield class. So what we are saying is, what is the allele? Obviously, it's supposed to be what? It's supposed to be a small f. The phenotype of this representation, the phenotype of this. So we just interpret it as to say what is the meaning of f and what is the meaning of h. So f is representing dominant f is giving few corpse. So it is few corpse and also it is few copes for F, and then H, recessive H is representing low drought resistant, few copes and and low drought resistant, few copes and low drought resistant. So our phenotype is just given as to say, we can just give it as once to say few copes and low drought resistant. That's what the question, that's what you need to do. You are giving the interpretation class few copes and low drought resistant, few copes and low drought resistant is what you are interpreting. So please, the answer is that you should know that you interpret each of the characteristics on their own. So we divide, we can't just take it like that to say our F, heterozygous F is representing what? It is representing few copes, and then homozygous H is representing what? Drought resistant. Low drought resistant, actually low drought resistant, which are given even on our key above the ratio of offsprings. The next question, D, the ratio of the offspring phenotype in the maize plants with few heads and high drought resistant to maize plants with many heads and low drought resistant. So what is the ratio? The ratio of the offspring phenotypes in maize plants with few heads and high drought resistant to maize with many heads, which is many heads and low drought resistant. So what is happening here is that we are supposed to give it as to say, how do we can look at this, we can interpret our our Punnett square here. We can just, this answer is given by knowing or by giving all the meanings of these possible outcomes. You interpret each of the possible outcomes here, and then you see how many of them with few heads, few heads, it is few heads and what? Few heads and high drought resistant. So few heads is supposed to be, few heads and high drought resistant is supposed to be dominant F, where we do have dominant F and dominant F, few heads and high drought resistant. We have got 1, we have got 2, we have got 3, we have got 4, we have got 5, we have got 6, we have got 7, we have got 8, we have got 8, 9, 9, we have got 10. Few heads, we have got 10 of them. 10 heads, we have got 10 of them. We have got 10 that I've marked there. These are few heads and high drought resistant. How drought resistant? I'm saying we have got 10 S2, it's 10 S2 low S2. We are saying S2 many heads and low drought resistant. Many heads and low drought resistant. Many heads and low drought resistant. So we should have many heads. I just want to use a different pen here to mark it clear. many heads, many heads, many heads, many heads, and low drought resistant. So we have got where we have got the recessive alleles, where we have got the recessive alleles alone. So this is one, many heads, this is one. This is one there. Many heads, this is one there. We have got one there. Many heads and many heads and low drought resistant. So we can get our answer as to say it is 10:1. It can be given as to say this ratio can be given as to say it is 10:1. We can give that. I'm saying you just count this answer. This answer, it is counted or it is calculated based on the Punnett square. It is referred to the Punnett square that has got the outcomes here, which we are saying this is going to be many heads and low drought resistant. It is many heads and low drought resistant. Then we can have that one. It is quite clear. So therefore, what I'm saying is you are counting all the possible outcomes that we have there. So therefore, you can be able to what? To give their meanings. So this question class is quite interesting. Again, take note of the meanings of the Punnett outcomes that are given in each of the what? In each of the squares that are in here. So it's 10:1. And then the last question is saying the percentage of offspring that is homozygous for both characteristics. The percentage of offspring that is homozygous for both characteristics. Show your working. How many of them are homozygous? We can have to check how many of them are homozygous for both characteristics. I can say homozygous, we have got one. Homozygous for both characteristics, we have got one. Homozygous for both characteristics, we have got one. Homozygous for both characteristics. How many do we have? This is homozygous for, so we have to say one. This is homozygous for both characteristics. It's homozygous for both characteristics. How many do we have there? The percentage of offspring that are homozygous for both characteristics. So you're working. Homozygous for both characteristics. So you need to check where do we have all the, both characteristics there that are shown. We have got one here. This is not homozygous. Homozygous for both characteristics is one. I'm checking. We have got two. We have got two here. It is homozygous recessive for both characteristics. Two here. Here it's not homozygous. There we don't have. There we don't have. There we don't have. We have got three. This one. This one is homozygous. Three there. I want to check. Let's check again. Where do we have another homozygous for both characteristics? We have got this one also, 4. So we are saying we look for all the possible outcomes where we have got homozygous for both characteristics. So we are saying it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. I don't know. We can check again. Yes. So homozygous for both characteristics. Homozygous for both characteristics class, we have got 4 outcomes. So we are saying percentage. Question is saying percentage. So it is 4 out of total, the total of them all, which is, there are 16. Count them all, is 16 times times 100 over 1, and then when you calculate that, you get what? 25%. 25%. So it is all the possible outcomes which are homozygous for both characteristics. You count all of them. I got them. I calculated them. I found only 4 of them. So that is how you calculate it. Uh, Thank you so much for your time. And I hope that you are going to enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, and also look forward for part B, section B of our paper, because the paper might be too long. So I divided it to section A. Section B is coming in the next presentation. Look forward for it. As you can see, these calculations are well proven and are well done. Thank you so much, and share the video to friends so that all of us we can pass. Thank you and have a good day.